Miss Corine Marie Tindell, welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning, as you guys come into the broadcast. For those of you who will be here with us live, we want to welcome you guys today. We want to thank you guys who were here with us last night. We had a great guest, Courtney Chester, shared a lot of great information. And now let's make sure we share this broadcast. That's important, you know? Yeah, I don't know if maybe I forgot to share the Lucas Live media. I feel like we're on here somewhere. I shared to the wrong place. Huh? Is that what happened? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We thank you guys for joining us. We're both sharing this broadcast, as we hope you do as well. Whether you're watching live or by replay, make sure you guys share this broadcast so that others can see it and join this conversation. We're going to talk about relationships. This is going to be a main theme of the show as we move forward into season 2. It's like season 2. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if it should be called season 2.
I think it should.
You think so?
Episodes, you gotta call it.
You gotta. Maybe it should be like season 12.
Yeah, something.
It's gotta be something different, right? So we're excited to have you guys. You guys come in. Welcome to Lucas Live in the morning. We're gonna talk relationships today. We're gonna take questions. If you guys have questions today. Couple singles, yeah, dating, married, single, trying to figure it out wherever you're at. We want to help you guys. Want to answer some questions for you guys today. We've been married for a little bit now.
A little bit.
It's been a few years. Yeah, we're still young. That's right. Still a nice young couple. We've been together for quite a while. We started off young too, really. I mean, how old were you? We got married? Yeah, we was like 20. He was like 22 when we got together. 24 we got married. I was like 25 when we got together. Maybe 26, 27 we got married. Must have been like 27 because, you was like 2 years older. I probably was too. I don't know. Whatever. But we're excited to be here with you guys. We're excited to talk. We look forward to seeing your comments and questions. Somebody's getting ready this morning, so you may not be able to comment. But if you can, we love your comments. And we'd love your questions. Somebody out there has a question and they're like dealing with some issues in their relationship or dealing with some issues as a single person. And they're like, man, I just don't know about this or that, or what am I doing wrong, or what can I fix, or what's it like being married, or any number of questions we'd love to answer. We have some things we'll share with you, but we'd love to hear your questions. Good morning, Tamika. Good morning, Sharice.
Hey, sisters.
Sisters.
I just went out to eat with them. We had a good old time.
Did you? Aunt Lane in the house. Welcome,
hey,
welcome.
Lane.
Thank you for being here. You just went out to eat with them a couple days ago?
Tamika
What's
and
that
Sharice.
for?
She Win Society, a little meetup, little sister time.
Little sister.
Little fun.
Yeah, a little fun, little sister time.
Yeah.
They was out there having a good time. So good for the ladies out there and men. I think it's important for men as well. I think, unfortunately, men don't have enough of these organizations, but we need to create some.
Yeah, y'all can start an organization.
I need to start something.
Somebody go ahead
you know
and
what?
Because us ladies, we go ahead and snatch our time.
Y'all do.
We
y'all don't play around.
Yes.
Right.
We do what we have to do.
Yes. Y'all do not play any games.
Have a good time, some laughs, some food, to get dressed up.
Good food, good time. That's what Tamika said.
Yes.
Good food, good time. The ladies know how to get together. Guys, man, I don't know. We get together for like sports and stuff. I don't know. I definitely have questions. What's up, Tiffany, our little sister?
Hey, Tiffany.
What's up? Throw your questions out there. Let's go. If anybody has questions, and here's the cool part about asking questions is sometimes people are like, I don't know if I want to ask. Anybody who has questions, somebody else has your question.
Yep.
They just aren't asking. So
wise people ask questions.
They do. That's how they get wiser, smarter,
yes.
and better because they ask questions. Maria Talbert, thank you for being here. Good morning. Yes. Our winner from last night.
Winner. Hey, Tina.
Right. winner from last night. We did the call-in show. I don't know if I could throw the number back up there if y'all want to do some call-ins.
Did you see Aunt Lane's comment? I mean, Amazon or something, Aunt Lane, getting that juicer. Target, one of them.
Man, that was all for the show. Hey, buy no juicer? No, just playing. No. Yeah. I gotta get the juice life together after last night. Right. Again, if you guys missed last night's episode, you guys should check it out. What's up, Antoine? Thanks for being here, my man.
Good morning.
I appreciate guys too, especially when we talk about relationship topics and questions, comments, Antoine, any questions you have, we'd appreciate it, or any insight you want to add to the conversation. A lot of times ladies are willing to have these conversations and not enough men jump in, or talk about what it's like to be single, dating, or married as a man. And it's challenging as well.
Shout out to the fellas.
Shout out to the fellas. Tim Stalickney, thank you so much for being here. Glad to have you, my friend. Thank you. Right. Sharice is working but listening. Thank you for being here. We don't want you to lose your job, but
gotta go to work.
You gotta work. It's okay. We're not mad at you. It's all good. All good. So if you guys have questions, start throwing your questions in. Thank you for sharing, Tina. We appreciate it. If you don't have questions, again, we're going to jump into some things, but please feel free to throw your questions in now or at any point. Kendrell, Gamble, welcome to the show. Good morning. So many questions. Listen, everybody keeps saying so many questions. I got to ask them. We want to help.
Throw your questions
out there. This is like a free session. We do this with couples and singles, and this is a free session. So, while the floor is open, you might as well throw your questions out there before it gets rolling too heavy. Now if anybody wants to call in, I could throw up the call in number too if y'all want to try to call in. Joy. Right. What's up, Sean?
Good morning, Sean.
Sean the man, Mr. Hip Hop workout Zumba instructor. I almost called him Hip Hop Abs. That was somebody else. That was Sean T.
I was talking to his wife yesterday. She said Sean does like 8 miles and run all this kind of stuff. I was like, go ahead, Sean.
And me and him talked about it one day. He just started running out of nowhere. Brother just was like, I'm trying to drop some pounds. Homeboy started running. No excuses. Got out there, started doing his thing. Shout out to the man, Sean. If you guys don't know Sean, Anton, A-N-T-O-N there in the comments. Sean Strong, check him out if you're looking to get in shape. He's doing some amazing classes at the Canton Y. He's doing some pop-up classes at some of the other Ys. A lot of people are loving it. Okay.
Extreme hip hop.
Extreme hip hop. There we go. Boom. Shout out to the Extreme Hip Hop. We doing free commercials this morning as well. Shout out to the free to the hip hop class. All right. Natalie Lewis, welcome. All right, that's our question. We have a question.
Good morning.
When you're running with me, Sean, that wasn't a part of the questions. That wasn't it. Sean, I might get with you one day. I might do it. All right. I'm thinking about it. All right. Kendrell asks, so what do you do as a single when things go bad, but you still treat them as you want to be treated, as you want it to be great?
But you still treat them as you want it to be great.
So, Kendra, you have to clarify that question. Are you saying you're still talking to this person, but things are going bad? And you know what, ladies and gentlemen?
You still want it to be great?
You still want it to be great? Like, okay, things went bad, and you're like, I still want it to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna do it again. Let me see if I'm going to find this number. We're going to throw up the number again. You guys are going to have a chance to call in. It's going down. Let me see. I got to find it.
Is it set on business hours?
I fixed that, I think.
Kendrell
I switch this
yes.
over. All right, hold on. Boom. Are these backgrounds different when I switch this? Let's see. Boom. All right. Anyway, yes. So you're single when things go bad, but you still want them to be great. You got to ask yourself. To me, I think one thing is, and let me throw the number up here if you guys want to call in.
Do you mean in that particular relationship or? Anyway, do you know?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, we want to ask clarifying questions, Kendra. Yeah. We just want to clarify. This is what we do in coaching. We just keep asking, so are you saying it's one person, it went bad, and you still want it to be great?
Like you still want that relationship? Or are you saying, like, you want to move on to a different relationship, you still want it to be great, but the other relationship was bad? Yeah. A little bit confused.
Right. Let us know. And the number is up here if you want to call in live. We'll take some live callers. That's always fun. We just started this live caller deal. It's craziness. We'll be looking for you. If it goes to voicemail or something, let me know. Make sure this thing is set up right to help you guys get through. All right. Natalie Lewis, while we're waiting on Kendrell to clarify, Natalie Lewis said, people say you attract who you are, but I'm feeling like this is false. I was told because of my spirit, broken men are attracted to me. The devil is a liar. I don't want to accept any more patience. She doesn't want to accept any more patience, any more men who need 911.
Right.
They struggle bus brothers.
Right.
So what do you think about that?
I think in a certain way people do attract who they are, but in your case it doesn't necessarily mean that you're broken. Maybe you're a fixer. Or you are a person that you call them patients, you know, so maybe you're a person who's a healer, but you don't need to be healing everybody. So I don't think that you attract because you're broken, but maybe you attract a certain kind of man, because you do need to toughen up, put your foot down on some things, and leave some relationships early.
Yeah.
Before like when you start seeing those signs, you gotta book it.
Know
like
when
people
to go.
stay in things hoping that something's gonna change, but if you see signs early, one thing you cannot do is change somebody.
Right. And
that's God's job.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
God has put things in us to be beneficial. We end up using them in the devil's playground with people who God never intended us to use those gifts and that heart and that spirit with. And so we waste it on, like the Bible talks all the time about don't cast your pearls before swine. Don't put new wine in old wineskins. They're saying basically like, don't waste your good stuff on bad things. Mm-hmm. And what happens so often in relationships is, especially for single women, is they give their best to dudes who aren't worth it. And then they give the rest to the dude who came along who could have had potential. You may meet a guy, as all guys are. Everybody is somewhat a fixer-upper. Every person. Like, we didn't come together because we were like, oh, I'm perfect, you perfect, we both perfect. Let's have a perfect relationship.
Yeah.
We just both were seeking God, and we had some brokenness, but she couldn't fix my brokenness. I couldn't fix hers. Only God could do that. So don't lose that spirit of, I can help somebody get to I can take you to see the king, right? I can help you get help, but don't look at me to be the end-all, be-all, almighty God.
Right. It's an individual aspect of every relationship. Like, you have to come into a relationship, a single person. I know you guys heard this before. Single means whole. So you can't come into a relationship as a broken person and expect anybody to make you happy. I think that's one of the things people fail to realize in a relationship. Your spouse is not there to make you happy. Being happy is something that happens between you and God.
That's deep,
between
man.
You and your master, your Lord, and your Savior.
Woo.
So if you come in thinking, I need you to do this to make me happy, I need you to be this way to make me happy, that's not going to work. Never, ever, 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 ever. So two people have to come into a relationship with some perspective and some maturity and some growth enough to be able to know that they're on an individual journey and they're coming together as one, but their journeys are still individual, but you're working as a team.
Absolutely.
Because you're always going to be growing and healing and doing something as an individual between you and God, but you have to learn how to do that together. I mean, people make their spouse their God.
Woo! All right, Corine, stop. She preaching, ain't she, Topher? She preaching over here. Amen. People make their spouse their God. That is called an idol, ladies and gentlemen. They are your almighty. They are your savior. They're supposed to rescue. Now, Kendrell commented. She's clarifying her situation again. She still sees the best in the person. She feel like God didn't give up on me, so why should I give up on them? Cut it out. That's God.
Yeah, that's
God. That's the thing, and that's
yeah.
okay, Kendrell. You're not crazy for feeling that way, but there's something in your spirit that says this ain't working. There's something that your eyes and ears are seeing, even in the physical, that says this is not good for me. And so we're like, God didn't give up on me. So good. Give them over to God. In my book, The Man Manual, my final chapter, see, I got Post-its and stuff because I be teaching from this thing. My final chapter is return policy. And it's talking about after you've done all you can, and really you should have done it before you did all you could, we have to return people to their manufacturer. The maker of man or woman, the maker of humankind is God. And so if when we see these people with problems and things are breaking down, we have to return them to God, as in they may not even want to go to see the king. They don't even have a relationship, but you got to pray for them. But that doesn't mean you continue to keep them as a patient in your hospital. It's like you at a certain hospital, and they're like, we've done all we can. My mom was at Altman. They said, we've done all we can. That was scary to hear. Like, wow, the hospital did all they could. They had to send her to Cleveland Clinic to a specialist. Mm-hmm. Take them to see the king. Got to send them to the specialist. All right?
Yeah, I think one thing, too, we have to realize is that relationships are work, but they're not supposed to be like a thing that's elusive that you're guessing and you can't understand it and you can't grasp it. Like, it's not supposed to be that hard, you know? Like, when you get with somebody, like when we were together, I don't feel like we maybe dated for about, like, we met in 2007, we got married in 2009.
Early 2009.
Yeah.
We met
but we were
late 2007, married early 2009.
Yeah, but we were talking about marriage
early. It was like, hi, my name is Lucas. You want to marry me? No.
Not that you have to be talking about marriage, but it shouldn't be hard to, like, you shouldn't be guessing all these different things. Like, do you like me? Is this going anywhere?
Yeah.
Do you have anybody else?
Right.
Where are you at night?
Where are you at
Why
on
can't
commitment?
I find you until 2:00 the next day?
Jesus.
Those are signs telling you that this person is not serious.
They're not serious.
They don't want to be in a relationship.
They don't want the
right
job.
now. Yes.
If this was a job, they'd be fired.
Yes.
And here's the thing about jobs, right? Any business, any organization, any household. It's not the rules that you profess on Facebook. It's not the rules you profess in your employee handbook that count. If the employee handbook says nobody's allowed to smoke outside the building, but the supervisors allow certain people to smoke, then that ain't a rule. If people profess in their women's groups and in their guys that these are my rules, these are my standards, I will never tolerate these things, on paper, but in their relationships, they tolerate all these things, then those aren't real rules. And people quickly learn who you really are. They're like, you ain't serious about that. That's not really a rule. You said no smoking outside the building. People smoking outside the building. Smoking outside the building is fine. You said you wouldn't tolerate somebody not coming home all night. He ain't coming home all night. You still tolerate it. It's fine. You teach people how to treat you.
Yep.
And when you look up and you're like, why do they treat me this way? Because you allow it.
Yep.
Period. That's it. There's no magic trick to it. Why? Because they're evil? No, because you allow it. They hate you?
Yep.
No, you allow it. They don't love me? No, they love themselves more, and you allow it.
Yep.
Okay, so.
That's it.
Yeah. Natalie says she need to make her dating handbook. That's right. You need to set your standards and figure it out. Now, that does not mean you can't be flexible. And that does not mean that a person can't make a mistake.
Yes.
But if you make a mistake at work, you get warnings. Mm-hmm. And you don't get 20 of them.
Right.
And that's what it is. So... Natalie's rule is when it interrupts your peace, you need to say peace. I love it.
Amen, Natalie. Yep. Amen.
Good morning, Danielle. Good morning, Tasha Ellis. Some other people, Amanda. Some other people jumped in here. Good morning. Good morning. Topher jumped in on the conversation. We appreciate you. Jaysha Lily. Good morning. Just want to say hello to some of the people who jumped in. We're glad you're here. Thank you for saying hello. We are doing relationship talk. We are answering questions this morning. This is going to become a normal part of Lucas Live. I'd love to have you back more often.
I like being here. Thanks.
You enjoy being here on the show?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. We're going to do more relationship talk, maybe weekly. It's just going to be a regular part of it. It's something that we're both really passionate about. We know people have a lot of questions about. There's a lot of single people trying to figure it out, trying to get ready, and we love helping them. And there's a lot of dating and married people who are trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. They're trying to get it. Christina, Jessica Miller, hello.
Christina. Hey, Jessica.
Thank you guys for being here. Welcome. Make sure you guys share this broadcast. Check us out. Make sure you're also subscribed to Lucas Live Media on YouTube and Facebook. Subscribe, follow. Make sure you like it and follow.
Sorry.
It's something flying around. Little gnat.
Almost got in my eyeball.
Almost got in your eyeball. Hey, Lynette. Miss Lynette Beatty, welcome. Thank you for being here. Yes, we got to get this relationship talk as a part of this conversation. So any more questions? We want to take more questions. Natalie says, if you think you're ready to date, as a classy lady that I am, how do I make it known that I'm available without being all direct? Well, any thoughts on that? Because
let's talk. Do guys mind women who are direct?
No.
Okay. I didn't think they did.
Because here's the thing. It's not 1950, ladies and gentlemen. Stop believing what you saw on TV from when your parents were kids. Your parents can't even get... The world has moved so fast, so far, because of technology and so many other things. We are in a different era. The world is not the same. People aren't the same. People's perspectives aren't the same. People's whole perspective has been shaped by the internet and social media. It's no longer what grandma said, and this is how grandpa courted me, and when we took me out we did some stuff. It's not like that. I'm not saying he shouldn't
Women were
court you.
direct back in the day, too.
Well, I'm sure they were, but it was more, it wasn't as accepted, right? It was more like the man should chase you, and a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. But these women be hiding. They be talking about finding a wife. We ain't playing hide and seek. You single, you trying to be found, and you over here ducking and dodging or hoping he chase you down the next aisle at Walmart. He ain't chasing you. You're Turn around, look at the brother, smile, show him that you're available. Like, to me, that's just a big thing. I think that women don't know how intimidating it is for a man to just walk up and approach him. Mm-hmm. How just like you don't want to be rejected, men don't want to be rejected. Yeah. Just like you may have self-esteem issues, men have self-esteem issues. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I don't want a man if he got them kind of, I want a man who's confident. Well, the super extra confident brothers is chasing all the ladies. You don't want him either. So what do you really want? Like, please, yes, please. Yeah.
If you got a little crush, Natalie, tell your crush that you got a little crush.
A little crush on you. Play a song or something.
Crush on you.
Right. Do something, right? Right. Tasha Ellis said, Ruth didn't wait on Boaz to come to her. She positioned herself. Read that story again, ladies.
She did.
People be acting like Boaz came to rescue her.
The brother was sleeping.
Yeah, she rolled up on homeboy. He was
sleeping at.
It was like... She was like, "Oh, sorry, we together or not?" No.
He was like, "What you doing here, Ruth?" Ruth?
Girl, I almost went off. I didn't know who you was. Girl, you better move. She was like, "Sorry, we cool. Let's talk."
Don't be scared, Natalie. Don't be scared. You just gotta get you a little. Let's think of what should she say to him.
Okay, so let's talk through. We're gonna talk through Natalie's situation here live. Do you guys know each other? As in, like, do you have some type of communication already? Are you part of the same friend group, or is this somebody who, like, you kind of know from a distance? So that's the first question.
Yeah, let us know.
Is there a door already? So he's from my city, but doesn't live here. So how do you suggest I slide in that DM?
So you gotta slide in the DM. So does that mean you don't know him that well?
Or he doesn't know you? So is it just like your common thing is you're from the same city, right? But he doesn't really know you. You don't really know him. Is that right? Help us out. We're answering questions live.
Shoot your shot, sis. Shoot that shot.
Shoot your shot. You gotta shoot your shot. And here's the crazy thing, ladies. What ladies don't understand is other ladies are shooting their shot.
Yeah, the sliding in the DM. Well, you don't know. You married.
What you mean? I don't know. No, I don't know.
Where the brothers at? I can't be asking.
Brothers, I know you ask your husband. What's it like sliding in the DMs?
Right.
Well, there was no DMs.
Right. We start an argument.
I know, right.
You did roll up on me, though.
I did.
Outside of the DM.
I had to shoot my shot. Go ahead, Tamika.
She gonna shoot her shot.
People got to start. And here's the thing, ladies. Here's what I want you guys to understand. Every shot's you're not gonna make every shot.
Yeah, that's what they tell you about everything in business. They say they can either say yes or no. You might as well get it out the way. You can't be sitting here having a crush for 3 months.
And 3 years.
Yeah.
And they done got married.
Like, at least you know he ain't ready or he is ready. We gonna do something or we ain't gonna do something. So you might as well get it out of the way.
Yeah, no, real quick. Kendrell said, I hate rejection, though. So does every man. This is the thing. There's a bunch of men out here who also hate rejection. And ladies think that they're supposed to just walk up to you, as intimidating as it can be, and break the silence and say, hey, I noticed you over here at the vegetables here at the store, and I was thinking maybe we could, talk sometime, or can I get your number? It's like, it's too much. Or just jump in your DM and be like, oh, I noticed you. They can, but they're fearing rejection as well. And you don't know how many other people have rejected him already. You don't know where he's at on that. So just like you don't like rejection, nor does he, I think everybody has to start shooting their shot. We don't have time. Like you guys see how fast this year is going?
Yeah.
Like 2020 is like this horrible year, this crazy year. It's almost December. Like they got the Christmas decorations up at the store already. So people, you got to get going. It's another summer, another Christmas, another summer, another Christmas. Another summer you was hoping to go on walks and picnics. Another holiday season you was hoping to have somebody to take home and cuddle up with. Another summer's coming, another Christmas is coming. You got to shoot your shots. You got to go for it. And you got to get yourself ready.
Yeah. And rejection is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, people look at rejection as a bad thing. Rejection allows you to move on. So you know something is not going to work. You can sit there, you keep hoping, wishing, guessing, praying.
Yeah. Fantasizing.
But you never know until you get out there, put your feet in the water. Is it hot or is it cold?
Yeah.
Once you know, then you can move on and you can keep living. Like, what's the purpose of sitting and hoping, wishing, and praying in the same spot for months or years, not knowing? Like, you're just stagnant. You're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. Rejection is a blessing. It's a yes or a no.
It gets you further down the road.
Let's keep moving.
Amanda made a great point here. Yeah. She said, like all the posts. Maybe you don't have to like all of them. He might get a little scared. But like posts, reply to stories because those go to his DM and start a casual convo.
Ooh, I like that. Do you reply? She says she makes comment.
Yeah. I think that's important. It's marketing. Marketing it takes so many times for you to see the Pepsi commercial to start thinking, man, I really need a Pepsi. Like, you don't even know why. You're like, I don't even like Pepsi that much. But I'm not drinking. I told myself I wasn't drinking Pepsi no more. But they keep putting Pepsi in front of you. Okay? Mm-hmm. So it's marketing. Now, you don't want to be crazy, but you want to continue to put yourself in front of that person. Let them notice that you've noticed them. Right? So you want to like their posts. You want to comment on things. Not like some crazy stalker. Like their stories. Again, comment on their stories. That goes to their DM. Do they respond? How do they respond? Show a man that you see him as a man. That you see him as smart, strong, valuable. Right? And so when he's posting stuff and you're like, wow, that's really insightful. I love following your stories. Wow, I love seeing you.
I have a friend that does this well. I was just thinking about it.
Who is that?
I'm not going to.
I know somebody that posts pictures well.
I'm not going to say.
But anyway, go ahead. You don't have to say their name unless you want to tell us their name.
No, she's gotten into a few different relationships via social media.
Okay.
But she just, if somebody makes a comment on something, I think one guy, he put up a book and she commented, oh, this seems interesting. I'm going to read the book. So she got the book. She read the book. Then she got back to the guy and said, the book you suggested was really good, blah, blah, blah. And that's how they started a conversation. Mm-hmm. That was one time in particular. That's good. Yeah, she does.
Take interest in what they're interested in.
Yeah.
Comment on their stuff. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Our good friend Brianna says, in today's world, it's hard to be taken serious, especially after you have been in a situationship for years. But see, here's what happens. That may be true. Mm-hmm. But the only reason someone wouldn't take you serious is if they know about the situationship. So if they
gotta show up serious.
Yeah, if they didn't know. So it's like the Bible says, a prophet is not without honor except in his own country, which means it's harder sometimes where you from because the people where you from know your stuff. So they'd be like, oh, I thought you was talking to so-and-so. I thought you was with homeboy still. I thought you was still, I know you so-and-so's girl for real. Like, I'm not talking to you. Well, then you got to get out of those smaller circles and start thinking bigger. You got to put yourself in other cities, other places, start going out and having a good time around other people. Expand your friend group. Ladies, join the She Wins Society, national group, SheWinsSociety.com, and get out with some other ladies and get you to travel a little bit and do some other things, get to know some other people. So you just got to expand your territory. You got to expand your area where you're at. And I know we're in the kind of semi-quarantine, but everything ain't shut down and there's opportunities. Right. And while we're still in this semi-quarantine, I recommend everybody do the internal work, right? Read those books. Do the work of healing, praying,
do some soul
growing
work.
Closer to God, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Natalie. Yes, Natalie.
Yes.
And I want to say, too, to Brianna, I just want to talk about my previous relationships up until meeting you. Mm-hmm. I was cheated on by every guy that I ever dated. Mm-hmm. And then I put up with a lot of stuff, talk about some situationships. Right. Brothers was running all over town, having several girlfriends, and I was acting like I didn't know or hoping, wishing that he was going to come back around. Right. Until I finally got tired. I said, I'm not doing that no more. Right. Those guys was calling me afterwards. I was not answering their phone calls because I got serious about myself. Yes. And when I met you, like me and you, like when we first got together, I remember you would be like, I'm a good man. You better catch me. Girl, and I was like, I'm a good woman. You better catch me. Yeah. Like, I think as women too, we give men all the power because women are usually the ones that want to be in relationships,
Yeah.
you know, but men want to be in relationships too.
Mm-hmm.
He wants a good woman that's confident, that ain't gonna put up with his stuff.
Yeah.
You know, men need that.
They need that.
Yeah.
They need some structure in their life.
Yeah.
And it's important. When a woman has standards, the man learn if they find you worth it, they learn to live up to the standard. It's just how things work. It's like if you have a teacher that doesn't require you to turn in homework, you don't do your homework. On the other hand, if you have a teacher that does require it, magically you learn how to do homework. So same school, same stuff, same grading system, magically you can do better over here than over there. And a lot of women have broken up with a dude, seen him go on to be in a successful relationship, and they're like, that's messed up. How could he do it for her? I taught him all that stuff. Well, one, you probably did teach him some things. But two, she expected it. Not she was smacking his hand all the time. She just carried herself in a way like, I just ain't getting down like that. Like, no, I'm not one to be just cheated on and mistreated. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say something too, but
I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I jumped in there.
No, it's all right.
Right.
Jump right in there.
Right. Brianna said she's doing the inner healing. Stefan Labossiere has been speaking to me through his books. That's my dude. Stefan Labossiere. I'm going to get him on the show. And then I'm going to have you be a caller, a live caller, Brandon. Let's work that out. Stefan Labossiere also wrote the foreword to my book. Shout out to my dude, Stefan. You can't see it. His name is down here. Shout out to Stefan Labossiere. If you haven't read his book, God Wears My Boaz, He Who Finds a Wife. He's lying, sis. He's got some great books out there. Check out Stefan Labossiere. Check out his YouTube and all of his information. Make sure you're following him.
Yep.
Good dude, too.
Yeah.
Like, the dude is sincere. Like, met him, talked to him. The dude is genuine. He's serious about his stuff. Mm-hmm. Yep. Did you have something else? I'm sorry.
I did. I forgot, though.
It's going to come back.
I'm trying to get it to come back, but it's not coming.
All right. Did it have to do with what Brianna said, Natalie said,
yeah, it had something to do with what Brianna said, but, you know. Christina's talking about
ghosting. I don't know what you mean. Somebody disappeared. What's up with ghosting? They ain't that interested. That's it. Yeah. Or they've gotten to a point. Go ahead.
I was going to say, they're too much of a coward to tell you that they don't want to do it no more. So they just disappear. Yep.
And some other reasons people ghost people. They're already in a relationship. The person they're with found out. They shut them down. And they was like, I'm sorry. I'll never talk to them again. I'll block them on everything. And they ghosted you because they got caught.
Caught up?
Other time, they got entangled with you and they got a real thing over here and they had to ghost you. Or they've followed this trail of the relationship. They've talked to you. They got to a point and then they decided, and I don't think this is the one for me. And instead of being man enough, like Corine said, to say, hey, I'm just not whatever, they may find you too nice, too kind, too sweet. They don't want to hurt you. And I've seen so many guys hurt girls. And in the back end, they're saying, I don't want to hurt anybody, though. The reason I did this is because I didn't want to hurt her. I'm like, that's way more hurtful, dude. Like, step up, speak up, and tell her something. Don't keep playing her and saying, I'm trying not to hurt her. So if a dude ghosts you, let Casper go. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth trying to bring no ghost back. That brother dead. He dead to me. All right? Natalie said, ghost me, I'll be Casper right along with you.
Right.
We out. Yep. Shout out to Tyler Thatcher. What's up, my man? Good morning. On his way to work.
Hey, Tyler.
Popped in for a minute. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you, Tyler. Yes. So, any other thoughts?
I wanted to talk about, too, like, what are some of the things y'all are attracted to? Like, we need to talk about this. Like, when you get into a relationship with somebody.
Make sure we're still on. There's some weird technical things going on our end. Okay. Screen is kind of froze, but I think we're still working. I know. I think we're still here. You guys let us know. Hopefully all is well.
Yes.
That comment might be stuck on the screen for the rest of the day. Y'all let us know. Can you guys still see us? We still good? There's something weird going on technically on this end.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So I was saying that when you're, we can't see people's comments, huh?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, hey,
boom. Oh, here we go. We back on. It's working.
Back up and running.
All right, back up and running. Hello.
So one of the things that happened to me when I was getting cheated on over and over and over is that I was really shallow. So I was going for guys based on how they looked, and that was it.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think, okay, go ahead. I mean, I think that paints a picture of the kind of guys you were dealing with. And so they thought they were so cute. They were so busy running around trying to be cute with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like I said, we got together when I was like 24. So this is me, early 20s, 22. We got married at 24.
Yeah.
let me tell my story.
22. Little shooter, 22.
So, when I was that age, all I was focused on was finding a man that was fine. Okay? Fine. And they wasn't even really all that fine. But that was all I was focused on. I was really shallow. And there was plenty of guys that tried to talk to me who had some morals and some values. But I was too focused on the guys that didn't have any morals and the values until God dealt with me. And it was like, look what you're doing.
Sister
You ain't supposed to be with these people.
These brothers ain't no good.
So when I finally was like done with it, I was like, I'm done with them. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. Then I met you. You had all kind of morals and values. You were nice. You were great. You were a great father.
Yep.
You were just a great man. You had a good job.
A good job. Had me 2 jobs.
You was chasing after God.
Chasing God.
So I asked that question to ask you ladies, like, what are the things that you are going into these relationships looking for?
Right.
Is it the things that you want? Or are you just looking at how this person looks and overlooking the things that they are clearly showing you? They don't got no morals. They don't got no values. They ain't out here doing nothing. They just halfway look decent.
Right. That's a great question, and I think it's important. Men and women, I think and men are worse at this than women, shallow. Just looking for somebody that looks good. And I warn men a lot. I'm like, you look at, especially young men, I'm like, everybody you're not going to look the same when you're 30, when you're 20. You're not going to look the same when you're 40, when you're 30. And that's okay. You got to find somebody who has more going on than how they look. Everybody, men and women, you can't just look at somebody and be like, oh, she got this perfect body. She walking around in a bikini. Well, then you're going to get her pregnant, have 5 kids. She might not wear a bikini every day. Like, that's okay. Like, calm down. Like, are you going to still want her? Or are you going to be looking on to the next girl trying to get the new model car because you done...
Trying to get the new bikini.
Trying to get the new bikini model instead of, like, I love her. We built this together. And even for women, a lot of times, again, for a woman, a lot of times they may gain weight or their bodies may change in birthing your children. You couldn't keep your hands off of her. That's how you got in that situation.
And men gain weight too.
Yeah.
When women get pregnant.
Yeah.
Men are always talk about, well, when my wife got pregnant.
We just heard that. Yeah, somebody, right. What's it called? Sympathy pounds or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Here we got Walter Levert has a question. What about when 2 people grow together at 2 very different speeds? That's a good question right there.
That is a good question. What you got, babe?
So what I would say is, it is important. One of the reasons this happens is because we don't communicate clearly where we're going. Okay? So, like, if we're both going in the same direction toward the same things, somebody going faster doesn't mean we're both in the same car. So you may be growing individually faster, but still we're both going fast. Like if you're going 60 and I'm going 30, we're averaging 45, right? We're somewhere in the middle. So I think, one, you got to have clear goals. Where are we going? Let's make sure we're going in the same direction. What happens to a lot of couples is they grow apart because either somebody's not going anywhere and this other person has a vision for their life and they're gone, or we both have visions for our lives individually and we're going in separate directions. But when we're going in the same direction, on the same ship in our relationship, while somebody may be going faster, it pulls a rising tide. All boats rise with the rising tide. There's a saying, no matter what size the bottle, the cream always came to the top. Like, all things rise together. So when you're moving together in the same direction with a clear vision, I think you guys can kind of pull forward together. And it's also important, though, that you guys talk about what it looks like to grow.
Yeah.
Is it Bible study? Is it working out? Is it reading? Is it meditation and prayer? You both have to commit to some ways of you both having an opportunity to grow. Some people aren't growing because they're not trying to learn or grow any at all.
Right.
Your thoughts?
That question is so, like, loaded, like, it depends on, like you said, what does it mean to grow? And you have to look at your perspective and consider, like, what is it that you want your spouse to grow in? Like, I think individuals that are in relationships should always be growing. They should always be transforming into a better version of themselves.
Yes.
Not who their spouse wants them to be. So it just depends on where that person, like, is that person not growing at all? Like, are you not happy with the speed of their growth because you want them to be in a certain place because you got in that place? And what is it about? Like, is it about a career, you know?
Right.
Like, you know, do you want the person's career to
is
be
it
better?
about career? Is it about godliness? Is it
yeah,
about...
like, if it's about career, you, like, have to think about, is it that important? If it's about godliness, you know?
Certainly, God, that's something
That's
that you
important.
can...
Yeah.
It is, but it's something you can also work with God to work with them on, right? You're like,
Yeah.
God, you're in charge of them. So instead of me continuing, if I wanted my wife to grow spiritually, while we should have conversations about it, I need to go through the cell tower to get the message to her. So if I call my wife right now, it's not going to jump over to her phone. It's going to go to the cell tower and come back down. So a lot of times, people throw their phones around. A lot of times, in all situations and relationships, we're trying to go directly to the person. And we should. Don't get me wrong. We should have conversations this way. But the most powerful conversations go this way first and ping off of God, the God tower, and come back down to that person. Most people in relationships can admit they've been talking to their spouse or their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, about something forever. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, the person comes to them and says, you know what God told me? And it'd be the exact thing y'all been talking about forever, ever, 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 ever. But too often, and see, God is a jealous God too. God does not want this to work without him. So he wants to be in the middle of it. He wants to be all up in the relationship, and he wants you bouncing things off of him. And furthermore, he wants you to just seek him and not always say, God, tell her this. He wants you to say, God, tell her what you need to tell her so she can be best for you, not so she can be better for me. You made plans for her. You made her for your use, not for mine. So you talk to your girl, talk to your daughter, make her the best she can be for you. And if she's good enough for you, she's more than enough for me.
Yeah.
So that's important.
And I love to say this. There's an I in marriage.
Yeah.
It comes off of there's no I in team. Well, in marriage, there's an I. Like, you have to worry about yourself. Like, when you're so focused on your spouse and what your spouse ain't doing right and whatever, like, that's tiring.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. Unless your spouse is out here cheating on you or something like that. Then that's a totally different thing. Yeah. But if your spouse is just, you know, not growing as fast as you think they should be growing.
Right.
Maybe that's not exactly, like you said, for you to worry about. You got to give that to God and let God deal with your spouse.
Totally agree. My man Charles Boone here on YouTube, he said, shout out to Charles Boone. He was our first sponsor for this show. Shout out to Charles.
Hey, Charles.
He said, in all honesty, unless you hit the relationship lottery, it takes being in a few different relationships to truly get an idea of what you really value in one.
I agree.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
especially we get into relationships so young. Like, we
yes.
start out in high school and stuff. Like, I was talking, like, we were saying we got together at 22. Yeah. 22 is young, you know?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'm amazed that we even made it, you know?
What? This is news, breaking news. No, you're right. I was 25, you were 22. Yeah. We were young.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so young. Like, my mindset was not, like, I didn't know half of the things that I never seen a successful marriage. None of that, you know? Like, I seen marriages and stuff on TV, and I seen, you know, the woman going off on her husband, this and this and this. And this is where I get my, you know, marriage stuff from. But thankfully, we were blessed to have some marriage mentors.
Yes.
That was always speaking to us.
Shout out to Richard and Valinda Bennett.
Yes, and speaking into us in our marriage. But when you think about how young you are, just think back, you know, about all the things you didn't know. Right. And you're trying to be in a relationship with somebody, trying to make it last forever. Doing all this.
Keith Sweat.
Right.
Trying to make it last forever and ever.
Doing things that your brain ain't even mature enough for you to conceptualize, you know. Like, you think about, you're doing all that stuff when you're at such a young age, before you're even mentally mature enough to even really, really, really know where it's going to lead you, how it's going to take you, how it's going to affect you emotionally and all this other stuff. Yeah. Some people have babies, you know, that young and stuff. So you think about doing all that stuff when you're that young. Mm-hmm. Whew.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
And we need help. And then what happens too is...
You got to figure it out. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you go, like Charles said, you go through these relationships And a lot of times they don't end well because you're figuring it out as you go.
Yeah.
And then when you're old enough and mature enough, and your brain is like, I don't want to do that again. I know that for sure. I may not know what I want, but I know what I don't want.
Yep. Shout out Stephanie Turner. Thank you for joining us here today, jumping in the comments. We appreciate you guys when you guys get a chance to comment. I know everybody can't. Some people driving, some people at work trying to be quiet, got the earbuds in, the AirPods, something trying to work it out. We appreciate you guys being with us here this morning. Again, if you haven't subscribed to Lucas Live Media, liked and followed it on Facebook and YouTube, please do that. We don't want you to miss anything. We posted and shared on our pages and things, but the first place to be is there. Also, let me shout out our sponsor. I didn't do that. I got to shout out the sponsor. You don't want to not shout out the sponsor because then they'd be like, wait a minute. I thought we was going to have a deal here. Shout out to Restream. Oh, it threw it all up in your face. My bad. Okay. Restream allows you. Restream.
Where is it at?
It's right here. Bing. Restream allows you to broadcast live video to 30 plus social media networks at the same time. I'm using Restream right now. I've continued to use Restream. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope. I'm on 4. You can do 30 plus at 30 one time. Plus. I don't know 30 plus.
Me either.
But they exist. There's Twitch and Twist and Twist and Shout. I don't know. It's a bunch of other ones. Maybe we'll jump on those one day as well. And one day, hopefully, we pray that Instagram will open up as an open source that will allow restreaming to its platform as well. But we might have found a back door, a little hack we might use as well.
A little back door.
Shout out to Restream. We appreciate them. And shout out to all of you who are here, who are listening, who are learning, who have questions. Somebody out there has a question, but you're hesitant to ask. Please don't be afraid to ask. Also, let me throw the number up there. We might have a brave soul that wants to call in. People don't want to call in with their morning voice, I guess. I threw it up there like, man, y'all want to call in? And y'all was like, not voice. Now. Last night people was calling in, man. I don't know.
That's was giving out free stuff. I called in.
Oh, we was? Oh, that's what made them call last night.
I called in. I won.
That's what it was.
I was feeling guilty about it. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have won on my husband's show. But I won fair and square.
You won fair and square. Yeah, you walked in the studio and you was like, babe, I'm winning. No, I just won. I was like, okay, no, that's not what happened. She called in. She was the fourth caller. She won fair and square. She won fair and square. If anybody wants to call, you guys can call in with a question. We may have time to do a quick question. Yes, we may have time to do a question or two where you will come in live via phone and we'll make that happen.
Thank you.
Take your win, right? Take your win.
My W.
Yes. So I think one of the biggest things too is and we do coaching with individuals and couples. One, you need support. Mm-hmm. I always tell couples like, you need a referee. You're like in a one-on-one battle. It's like, imagine if the Congress was 2 people. Imagine if the Supreme Court was 2 people. It'd be a lot of stalemates. I see it my way. You see it your way. We went out to eat the other day, and we had a pretty good conversation.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to think because we go out to eat a lot.
Babe, this was a very important conversation. It was a breakthrough in our relationship.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna need you to remember.
Talking about table 6. Okay.
We went to table 6.
I'm listening.
See, I take her out a lot. She's like, we got to eat all the time. So we went to table 6. Shout out to table 6. We likes a good meal. We likes the date days, date nights. We need to do a date night one. Show some of our videos too. We have some fun. We've been taking some videos, date nights.
Some fun.
We were talking about the bottom line was in relationships this often happens. From my perspective, I'm doing everything in the world all these years to be a better husband, to be a better man. And through my eyes, because in my head and through the efforts that I'm making, I know all the work I'm putting in to be a better husband. I know all the days where I didn't say anything about something that bothered me. All the days I did the extra thing that I know she'd like me to do. All the days that I made sure she had the thing that she wanted. All the days that I, grew up and was like, I'm not going to complain about that anymore. All of these things that every day I'm making a conscious effort. So I can see it through my eyes, but she can't always see my effort. And on the other hand, you see you, right?
I see me. I see what I'm doing and all the effort that I'm putting in and all this growing that I'm doing. I'm like, okay, he said he don't like this. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to try my hardest not to do it. He says he wants this, from me. I'm going to try my hardest to give it to him. And then I feel like we make some progress. And I'd be like, it ain't good enough for him. You know, it ain't good enough. So we had to talk about some things.
It was a great conversation, I think. Did you think it was a good conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really good because, one, I was able to express how sometimes she said, if it's okay with me sharing I'm already out here. All right. Sometimes she said that she doesn't think I see the best in you, right? Yeah. She's like, you only see the things that I need to fix. You don't see the best in me. Now, I do admit I'm a relationship dude. I'm like writing books, reading books. I would say to somebody like, I don't think I'm the easiest person to be in a relationship with. Like, I think I treat people, I think I would treat you, I think I treat you well. I think that I'm mature as a man. I think I, do a lot of things.
But you have very high expectations.
Yeah, but I do have high expectations. I do. I want to have a great relationship, so I'm always pushing for it to be better. Yeah. Which is true. And, but over the years, I've had this, I used to be worse. And I was like, always something. It was like boot camp. Like, no, we got to do this now. Now we got to read this now. No, we got to grow in this way. No, we got to be better. And eventually, we got a caller. Uh-oh, he's calling the hotline. Hold on. Tyler Thatcher, you're on with Lucas Live. What's up, my man?
What's up? Guess who I'm sitting with?
Who you sitting with, my man? We're live. What's up? Who you with? They can hear you.
I'm sitting with my girlfriend, Aaliyah.
Hi.
Hi,
hey,
guys.
Aaliyah, what's up? Welcome to Lucas Live. We are live on the air. We'd love to hear, do you guys have a question, comment, concern? How can we help you today?
So what do you do, whether you're a man or a woman, what do you do when you feel like you're not good enough or you're not doing good enough for your spouse?
So that's what we're talking about. That's an excellent question. We have Tyler Thatcher, friend to the show, on the phone. I don't know if he called the hotline number. I think he just called my cell phone. See, when you really know me, you can just call. You just be like, Lucas, what's up, man? What's going on? So shout out to Tyler and his girlfriend here. Thank you guys for taking a minute to call in. So we were just talking about this because this is me and Corine. We've been there. So help us understand. So one of you or both of you, and you guys don't have to break that out, but like, doesn't feel like the other one's doing enough or doesn't feel good enough. Help us understand a little bit more.
Both. Like we both feel at times that we're not good enough or we're not doing good enough.
So is it each individual person saying, somebody said, I like that question. Shout out to Tiffany. So is it like you in your mind don't think you're doing enough for her and she in her mind doesn't think she's doing enough for you? Or is it that when you look at...
Sorry, Mr. Lucas. I just feel like sometimes where like he's progressing so much and I'm so proud of him, and it's like I'm taking little baby steps to get to where I'm going, but I just feel like I'm not going as fast as I should be going. But he's so supportive, but there's so many times where I just feel like I'm not doing enough to get us both to the goals that we both want to reach, our future.
Okay, great point. All right, thank you guys for that clarity.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are hearing this as well. We got live callers. They live here on the phone. We ain't fancy. It ain't all tied into some hotline system. I got my phone right here. So we have Tyler Thatcher and, is it Aaliyah?
Yes.
Tyler Thatcher and his girlfriend Aaliyah here on the phone. Thank you guys for calling in. And their question was, what do you do when you don't feel like you're good enough for the other person or you're doing enough to help the relationship, boyfriend or girlfriend? You don't feel like you're doing enough to help the relationship move forward. So what I would say, do you want to start, babe?
I would. I just want to ask a question. Like, do you, Tyler, or you guys ever talk about, like, what is it that you can do? Like, make that plain, like, spell it out. So, Leah, that you know exactly what you can do. Do you know what I mean?
Aaliyah, do you know what Tyler expects from you? That's the question. Or are you making up expectations of your own?
Yes.
Yes, I do. I know what he wants from me, and I know what he expects from me, and I know what to expect for myself. I just, like I said, I just feel like I'm just not doing enough, or I should be doing more, but I'm going at my pace. But I feel like sometimes that he is like, okay, I'm here to support you, and I'm here to have your back no matter what. But at times I just feel like he doesn't say that to me personally. Sometimes, like, I don't know how to explain it.
She feels like she's at times.
That's the word.
What was the word?
She feels like she's stagnant at times. times.
Okay, and Tyler, do you see that in her as well?
No, I don't see that
Like-
in her because
Like, is
I
she
see
putting...
what.
So I want to hear.
I see
So
where-
go ahead.
I mean, I see from when I've met her and where she was at then, and I see where she's at now, and I can clearly see. And sometimes she doesn't see it, but I can clearly see that she's not where she used to be. She's not where she needs to be, but she's not where she used to be.
And so, Tyler, are you happy with where she is? Or do you think
Yes.
that she needs to speed up a little bit? And I know we're live on air, but if you don't mind answering, do you think she does need to pick it up a little bit? Or do you feel like she's doing great?
I'm happy with where she's at because I feel like she's moving at her own pace, and just being honest, from what she goes through, I feel like she's making really good baby steps and making good progress to where she wants to be.
Okay. So the issue is, Aaliyah, you don't feel like you're doing enough. And so you're expressing to Tyler, or you guys are having this conversation where it's like, I'm not doing enough. I don't know if I'm good enough. You're growing so far, so fast. I'm slowing you down. I don't know if this is that where you guys are?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's the answer, ladies and gentlemen. Aaliyah, stop it. Stop it, Aaliyah. Put your hand out. Stop it. All right, Aaliyah? This man loves you. He cares about you. He's patient. He's kind. He's long-suffering. He's showing the fruits of the Spirit. He's doing what a real loving man would do. And the devil is a liar. Like, we get so caught up. We will create expectations of ourselves that our spouse hasn't even created, or the person we're with hasn't even created. And then we'll be tapping out of a relationship that we'll never find any. The next person, if you get out of this relationship, really will be saying you're not good enough. Or you'll be looking at them saying they're not good enough. You're in a situation where you're both young, you're growing. He may be growing faster, good for him. He's a man, he can lead, he can be a covering. If you guys get married, as you continue to grow, you're overthinking it. If the person you're with accepts you, appreciates you, accepts your level of growth, you need to accept it. And it's your own pride that's saying, I'm not good enough. I'm not moving fast enough. He's leaving me on the race. He's not leaving you. Clearly, he may run ahead and check out the path ahead at times, but it sounds like he runs back to get you. He's like, yeah, I ran ahead a little bit, but here's what I learned down the road. There's a couple pitfalls. There's a couple pits, some things in the road. Let's avoid that, but let's keep going together. I'm not literally leaving you. I'm just trying to make a plan and move things forward for both of us.
Yeah, and I would like to add in, too, that baby steps are amazing.
Yes.
Like, I think it's an American thing that we do where we feel like a baby step is not good enough.
Right.
God likes baby steps,
Yes.
That's how you start running.
Yep.
You got to take a baby step first,
Yep.
So don't put so much pressure on yourself. Keep doing, if you want to do... If you want to do better, challenge yourself, but don't compare yourself to what Tyler's doing. Compare yourself to yourself. So if you want to do better because you want to do better, then do better, know. But don't put so much pressure on yourself, and be content where you are. Like, if you're happy and your relationship is good and you guys are
Thank God
thriving
for
and
it.
doing well, be grateful for that, Like, that's something to be grateful for. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. Rejoice in your baby steps. God loves baby steps.
Yep.
And you keep taking those baby steps, and before you know it, you'll be running.
Yeah.
Tyler be like, "Hey, girl,
I see you
look
up
at
here. Right. Because there's a season. Yes. So what do you guys think? You guys think you guys can do that, Aaliyah? Do you think you can relax a little bit and enjoy the relationship, and experience the experience, enjoy the moment? Stop. We worry too much about things we can't control or the future, and we miss out on a good thing. You're so blessed to have each other. He's happy with you, and your dissatisfaction with yourself is costing you in your relationship. That's like quitting a job because you're not satisfied with your output, but your boss loves you. Like, nobody does that. Okay?
Right.
So keep going, keep growing. Do you mind me asking how old you two young people are?
I am 24.
Yes.
21.
All right, you guys, these are baby steps.
Beautiful.
Okay?
you guys are doing amazing."
Yes, you guys are doing great.
Yes.
So young. I mean, you guys have so much ahead of you. The fact that you guys have each other,
Yeah.
so special.
Yep.
So special.
We can just tell you guys are good people.
Yeah.
So keep
you're leaning on
going.
the camera.
Keep going.
Yep. Keep going. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you guys for your transparency. It adds to the show. We really value you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Beautiful.
All right, and we're here for you guys. Reach out to us anytime. Not even when we're live. All right. Take care. Bye, Tyler. Bye, Leah. Bye. All right, that was a lot of fun. We're excited. We're going to have to wrap up. You guys have been great. Thank you, guys. Yes, and for God's sake, don't allow jealousy to slow you down.
Amen.
Corinne, great points you made. J. Rod Morris having a similar problem on the opposite ends. 26, been married 3 years. All right. Well, hey, you tune into the next show and you reach out to us, or you guys can send some questions to our text line. And we can answer some of those in the future. We can take the questions and answer those on future shows. So here's the number. You guys can send your questions via text as well to this number. And we'll answer some of these questions and help some people out, okay? So we understand people are going through some stuff. We all just need a little help. We all just need some outside eyes looking into our situation to speak some life into our situation.
Yes.
So thank you, babe. Thanks for being on here again today.
Thanks for having me. I like being on.
So much fun. This is our thing. We like this. We have fun with this. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been awesome. Thank you for spending your morning with us. If you know somebody who could use this, share this, text them, call them, let them know they need to watch this episode and get this great insight. Thank you guys for your questions. Thank you guys for all that you guys do to make this show great. We'll see you guys again soon. Everybody, have a great day.